was representing Amnesty International, which is an international NGO focused on human rights of individuals. And our main concern in relation to migrations in the Mediterranean was that both European and African, but we focused on European states, were not were not developing policies according to these human rights principles. So our main goal in this debate was to try to put forward the fact that there is a need to change in the nature of the policies of the European and European Union policies.
I was the representative of the Italian Republic, and we had to defend the Italian position on the migration in the Mediterranean issue. At the first time it was kind of difficult to try to defend the Italian migration policies that are very restrictive, but once we get in deep with the issue, we find that it was possible, and we did. And we tried to take an European approach and a global approach.
Well, in terms of group work, the fact of really acknowledging how Amnesty International thinks and how Amnesty International works. In a personal perspective, the fact of preparing myself to the delivery of the speech. I had to be very conscious on the content of the speech, the length of the speech, and also how I was going to act, if in a vehement way, more calm. So I think it was quite challenging for me.
At the first time, when you have to try to argue something that you don't share, that was pretty challenging at the beginning, but I think that then we managed to interiorize the Italian arguments as they were our own arguments, and I think that we managed to believe what we were saying and to be convinced. So I think that at first this was one of the most challenging issues to do.
Well, the activity was basically, we organized a role game. There was a simulation of hearings of the Permanent Court of Arbitration, in which several actors representing a state, intergovernmental organizations and NGOs were called to be present at these hearings in order to discuss a very specific issue. This issue was the issue of migrations in the Mediterranean, which has been the cross-cutting issue of debate for the whole seminar. An idea was to see the capacity of students to adopt the role of a specific actor in international relations, since the base of our seminar was precisely introducing international relations on the base of the performance and the nature and the realities of each actor. So this simulation, this role game, was precisely oriented to see in which way the students had been able to understand this introduction to this topic on an actor-based dimension. We divided the three groups of seminar in two. Each group had to take the role of one of the actors, understand the nature of this actor, and being able to represent this actor, because it's also part of improving your capacities when you have to deal at international relations. It's not always that you have to put yourselves or represent your personal opinion, but you will be called to represent the opinion of the group you're representing, whether you are a state, whether you are an NGO, whether you are an intergovernmental organization, whether you are business sector representatives. And it's also very important for the students to understand the roles, because in terms for the future, when they have to enter into negotiations, in order to be able to contrast and to have interactions with the other actors, the first thing you need to know is to understand the way in which they think, the way in which they act, the way in which they are going to respond to the arguments you are going to pose. So this role game has precisely this interest, that first you have to adapt yourself to the role which has been given to you, and you have to be able to interact with the other actors. So I think that this is central for the kind of work that students of international relations will have to address in the future.